Now that you've logged in, welcome to the home page. At the top of the home screen, there may be messages of importance posted here under the Welcome banner. Once read, you can minimize this section by clicking on the arrow to the right of Welcome. Let's have a look around, starting below at View Fund Details. Here you can recommend a grant for donor-advised or charitable organization funds. View the amount available to spend. And over to the right side of your screen, you can see a quick list of the 10 most recent grants in your granting history. Just below View Fund Details, you will see access to resources in the Explore Opportunities section, where there's a variety of Calgary Foundation current initiatives, insightful reports, and information about the charitable sector. In Donor Central, there are 6 tabs along the top of the screen, including Funds, Grants, Recommendations, Gifts, and Resources. Let's start with the Funds tab. In this tab, all fund details appear, including the market value and spendable balance. Spendable balance is the amount available to be granted out to community for this fiscal year. If you advise on more than one fund, click on the Select Funds button and choose a fund you wish to view. Use the Date Range drop-down menu to select the fund activity period you would like to see. For now, we will select All. By clicking on any of the following, you can view more details like recommendations to be processed. These are recommendations submitted but not yet processed. Note that it takes 2 to 4 weeks for grants to process. Grants waiting payment. These are recommendations submitted and processed in our system, but not yet paid. These take 2 to 4 weeks to be processed. Grants paid. Grants are typically paid bi-weekly, shortly after mid-month and end of month. Recent gifts. It can take up to 30 days following the end of the accounting period for online gifts and gifts of securities to be fully processed and reflected in Donor Central. Historical gifts. After it is processed, in about 30 days, a recent gift amount will move from displaying as a recent gift over to historical gifts. Mid-screen, looking at the Market Value tab beside Fund Details, you can view historical market values here. Scrolling down, you can view a detailed outline of values by year and by quarter. This information is also displayed in a bar graph to the right. For even more fund details and to view or print a fund activity report, click on the Activity tab just on the right of Market Value. Here you have multiple options to select a date range to view in an activity report. The financial information and graph shown below will display the fund activity information you need. To print your fund activity report, simply move your mouse up to the top right corner of your screen to your web browser's options. Click there and select Print from the drop-down list. Here you can change print settings so it will print to a PDF for you to save to your files or print a hard copy. As each web browser is a bit different, this may appear slightly differently on your screen. Alternately, you can press the Ctrl and P keys to open the print option box. Now, let's look at the Grants tab display. Here you can see all of the funds grant history, including total granted, total grants paid, and the number of grants in the fund's history. Scrolling down a bit and on the left, you can see past approved grants to charities, grant totals by year shown in a bar graph, and by grant recipients shown as a pie chart. If there are grant recommendations that have been submitted but not yet approved, those will appear below in their own section. Again, it can take 2 to 4 weeks for grants to be processed. By default, these amounts show by calendar year. You can change the dates by clicking on the Filter button. This will allow you to view information in a few customized ways. To see more details about a grant, grantee, and charitable purpose or program supported, click the icon with 3 dots here and select View Details from the drop-down list. This is also where you can recommend a grant to the same charity again. Now, if you're an authorized fund advisor, let's go over how to make a grant recommendation. Making a grant recommendation can be done from many points on Donor Central. For now, click on the Recommendations tab at the top of your screen and select New, and the recommendation form will pop up. You can choose a past grant recipient by clicking here. Or search for a new charity from our Calgary Foundation database by typing any part of a charity name or address. If it's in our database, it will populate the field. If the charity you want to support does not appear in this list, scroll down and select the checkbox beside Add a new grant recipient not found in above search, and complete all of the fields. Once a grantee is selected, searched, or added, click Next. Select which fund you'd like us to grant from by selecting the funding source. Grants can be made anonymous by clicking the Fund Anonymous box. Enter the amount to be granted, keeping in mind minimum grants are $250 and the maximum cannot exceed the fund's spendable balance. Please note the default for charitable purpose or program name is General Charitable Activity. You can change this to a specific program name or description if you wish to support a particular initiative. Keep in mind that all charities greatly appreciate unrestricted funds when grants go out in support of general charitable activity. There are two optional fields, including grant description, to add more information about the charitable purpose or program name, and special request. For example, if the grant is in memoriam or in honor of a loved one, or to provide contact information if you would like us to advise specific contacts at the charity about the grant's distribution. Lastly, tell us what inspired you to recommend this grant. Select an option from the drop-down list. Maybe you visited our Community Knowledge Center website, or perhaps informed by a Calgary Foundation staff member. At the bottom of the box, click Next. Read the agreement statement, and if you agree, click the checkbox, I agree. Follow the prompts to submit the grant now. Click Review, confirm all information is correct, and click Submit. The grant will be dispersed in our next granting cycle shortly after the 15th or 31st of most months, with some exceptions due to holidays. Now, let's have a quick look at the Gifts tab. Here you can see the total dollar amount and the number of gifts into the fund since its establishment. Scrolling down, you can see a chronological list of all gifts received and their details. Here you will also see the name of the donor for each gift, or it will show as anonymous if selected when making the contribution. To the right, you can view gifts in a bar chart by year. Lastly, let's have a look at the Resources tab. Here you can access a variety of Calgary Foundation publications, reports, and philanthropic resources. Check back often as new items are added throughout the year. We hope this video was helpful and you enjoy using this secure online platform for your philanthropy. If you have any questions, please contact our staff, whose contact information is provided below this video.